Hello students. Today we're going to learn about computer language. Okay, let us see introductions. If you want to get something done by a person, you will tell him what to do in a language that he understands. Similarly, if you want to get some work done by the computer, you have to tell the computer in a language that the computer understands. That is computer language. Language is a way to communicate with each other. To communicate with the computer, a language is required that both the computer and the user understand. Since for every action, a computer has to be given instructions specially. Language ama habis ekuna kaigumba mi amada thabak ama tawhange hai taragadi mi duna khangba language se koina wangang ma thau taiba lam amada chatlaga thaba masinage mi ama pau phaunage hai taragadi mafam duda mi du khangba mi duna khangadaba language se koi wari sanagane bako adumai tawduna computer se koina thabak khara tawhange haiba taragadi computer ga pau phauna na ba language ama mathau taiba maduni ko computer language na hariba se ko. A language in which programs are written are called programming language. This can be classified into the following four categories. Program computer di program oina ira hapkidoni khuna nga wari sanaba yadabanina moina khangba londuda program ira hapkini ba adumai tawdana magi language se programming language se makhal mari thona khaidui kai kai no hai kanda machine level language, assembly language, high level language, fourth generation languages. Let us understand to this in details here. Language makal mari khaidi kai makal mari sida machine level language ajina kai no si machine level language. You know that a computer can understand only special signals which are represented by ones and zeros. These two digits are called binary digits. Computers understand programs written in binary digits. The language which uses binary digits is called machine level language. Machine level language ta madi signals oina khangane bako signals sida kari signals se kaina semi 0 and 1 na semi bako aduna machine level language ta yawise 0 and 1 kakta ne ba sigi 0 and 1 se kai ko ba binary language ko we ko binary language binary digits hariga khangnai sigi 0 1 se sema ko lo buna binary language ko we ko machine level language ki mangon the code ining taragadi sida bakha da iba sumaina 001 001 10011 kana iba sumaina 01 jina sema ga igani bako. Programming is a machine code has one advantages over programming at the other language level. Its executions is very fast and efficient because of the computer can accept the machine code as it is. However, in addition to the complexity involved in working at this level, there is a several disadvantages to machine language. There is no one understand machine language. Machine language differ from machine to machine. Machine language is only machine kaktana understand the language ni 0100 tawbase aikoina khangnaba honabadasu yam wai aduna खरगदी खंगम बयाय बेसिक ओइबा खरदी खंगकनी याम कुपथनदी खोइना खंगबा ngamdeba ngamdabani na khoida program iba matamda sangni ba ngamde khoiga moiga computer kuina pau phauna ba ngamdeba masi magi disadvantages ni mangjabane ba ko duna machine language habidi only machine khaktana khangba language to buni machine to machine khangba du language ni ko then assembly language. This language use letters and symbols instead of binary digits. These symbols are called mnemonics. Programs written in assembly level language are called assembly codes. Assembly codes are translated into machine level language instructions. A translator program is required to translate the assembly language to machine language. This translator program is called assembler. Assembly language is considered to be a second generation language. Assembly level language is easier to understand than a machine level language. Assembly level language is the binary digits the same roy. Mangundana letters natragana symbols na represent tawraga semakane bako. Madubu assembly language ki symbols indubu kai kauba mnemonics sarga khangna gani assembly language ki symbols or letters to mnemonics kowe. Magi assembly language te idaiba program dubuna assembly codes are khangnaganeba ngasagi binary digits ta irakpa isingduna binary codes or binary language hai assembly language ta irakpa ko singna assembly codes kawi ko masigi symbols natragana letter na iraiba singje akoina computer da thajan ba matam da computer sina machine sina khangnaba lon da mu translator tawba mathau taiba madu translate tawriba potuna karina mu tawi assembler haidana machine ma yawi maduduna assembler sina translate tawgadaba neba ko hojiki assembly language computer khangan badi kanana khangedaba assembler sina khangan ni ko madu assembler na translate tawgani ko. Since the computer understands only the machine language, so the programs written in this language need to be converted to machine language. For these translators, programs or assemblers were developed that convert the assembly language into the machine language. Assembly language is also a machine-dependent language, as the programmer need to have a details of the computer's hardware. Also, programming in this language is very tiresome and time-consuming. Mangondadi translator ama mathau tai haigre translator kanana tawba assembler sina translate tawraga machine ga pau phauna hanbane bako masi phauna matamda assembler sina ga karigum ama sina tawbani akoida yamna matam yam chaba yamna su waba akoi gi symbol du su mukhang na mu iba machine mu khang na assembler mu silang translate honba dumaina ani ahum thokna tawbase akoida su yam waba su helan ba adagi time kanjum matam chaba su yam hen ba aduguma mayam ma thoiba adu wakta natana mangondadi machine amada assembly language ta run tawraga yagraba programs atopa amada mu run tawum tunda yadaba yawiba machine dependent haije si machine si kaktang yai haiba dumaina akaknaba ama leiba aduna ma asina magi disadvantages ni ko. Then high level language are often referred to as generations, the ideas being that machine language were the first generations and the assembly language were the second generations. High level language are sometimes used to refer to all the language above the assembly language. First generation sina machine language ki idea la pase masina first generation language kore assembly language sina second generation language kore ko. High level language are easier to a human programmer to understand. They are generally not dependent on any particular computer machine. This language uses English and mathematical symbols like plus, minus, modulus, divisions, etc. for its program constructions. High-level language are problem-oriented language because of instructions are suitable for solving a particular problems. High-level language in a programmer sing programmer sings the yamna laihan yam understand tawba yam laina thonba atugumba language ama oiba kaigino hai kanda high level language sidina koi human na su khangba koi meba na su khangba machine na su khangba lon animak ta ire ba mangon madi aduna aikoina gi akhangba lon sida aikoina irani machine na khangba dana machine gi lon da mu khangjerani adumain tawdana yam laina aikoina irane ba maduna programmer sing dadi high level language yam laina thokpa yam laiba adugumba language am oire mangon machine dependent oide mangon da dependent oide habadi run da buma tamda ngasai gi assembly dadi sigi system sigi computer se run da ya khibda to pada yade haiba lai adubu high level language dadi tuma yadreba laitreba amadabu yaba taragadi computer khuding makta tawbada loina mo yarane ba machine dependent oidreba ko duna high level language na yamna sizinaba yam nungai ba adugumba language ama oire ko mangon da sine je english sine ba yare mathematical language sine ba yare mathematical language ti kaino hai kan mai symbol da la ani plus minus division dagi modulus sigumba symbol sing into ka ya multiplication gi yawi ba sigumba sing loina mo sine ba yare ba high level language di ko. There are many advantages of high level language. Some of these are atay example atay gi language sing ji gi high level language na sina ba hena nungai ba gi maram khara su leiba kai mangon da kai maram gi hena nungai no hai kanda understandability, debugging, portability, competitive. Sising ji yawi ba understandability ani kaino high level language have a major advantages over machine and the assembly language. Higher level language are easy to learn and use. It is because they are similarly to the language used by us in our day-to-day life. मासे हेन अखोइदा मागी मेजर एडवांटेजेस से अखोइना सिजिन्नबदा यामना लाइबा अखोइना दगी खंगमदबा पोसु खंगनबा तंबा मतमदा लर्न तौबा मतमदसु याम थुना हैहनबा याम थुना खंगहनबा खंगबा ngamba अदुगुंबा लैंग्वेज अमा ओइरे कै मरमगिनो हाइ कांदा अखोइना नुक्तिगी डे टू डे लाइफ दा सिजिन्नरिबा लैंग्वेज सिगा मानरबने अखोइ याम लाइना खंगबा ngमेबा दुना अखोइदा हाई लेवल लैंग्वेज से यामना सिजिन्नबा नुंगाइ हल्लेबे अखोइना खंगबा पोचि दिसिनबा नुंगाइ हल्लिदना कोइदा हुजिक इंग्लिश मणिपुरी सिगुंबा लोन अमा हाइरक तारगदि अखोइ तोइने तम्मिबा पोट ओइबनिना अखोइदा खंगबदा लाइहल्लनेबा अदु नत्तबा अखोइ एलियन मरोन अमा तमहलो हाइ एलियन मरोन दा ngang o na hairo natragana kana urdu da telugu da ngang o khalo subang khang da puda khoi tamna bu hona da hena wa ba mala oidrana adu main tawdana akhoi da dagi khoi da manipuri da ngang o haita di sentence be si manipuri da hairo upara haita di yam laina pani dana khoi da khang da language am do hairo haita di madu haina bu hona ba khoi hena awa ba thogane ba aduna high level language na hena nungai bagi maram di understandability khang ba hen ba da dugina ni ko then debugging. Debugging simply means to remove errors in a program. Errors in program written in high level language are easy to find and remove. Debugging haragadi program dugi asoiba error puthokpa se yam laina tawba ngamme ba ko madubu debugging ko yam laina puthokpa do puthoga semdokpa yam laina ngame. Portability. Programs written for one machine can run in different machines with a very minor changes or no changes at all. हाइदि प्रोग्राम द कईगुम चेंज अमता लेत्रगासु प्रोग्राम कंप्यूटर अमदा याबदो अतोपदा यारबा अदुतादी अदुबु कई कबा पोर्टेबिलिटी कवैबा सिमसु मंगोंदा यायबा ngasai machine dependent oide हाइजिबो पोर्टेबिलिटी को पोर्टेबिलिटी हाइसे and computer tips. High level language or programming language designed for user to write instruction in English like statement rather than in the machine language or using mnemonics ko high level language da koina computer da khangnaba lon da khon design tawribo khuding maksha keno da machine level language da natragana assembly language mnemonic da assembly language ki symbol sing ni ko maduda adum masa matomta system computer sina matomta translate taro adum sijina jakraba pone duna khoi dadi kamta tawdre duna computer haidi on da akhoi english da idara ga su moina machine language da natragana assembly language to on jana budum masa ge dum yaujara bani khoi da 100 ba dugini asina masina mara moraga high level language na kon sina bada hena nungai bani ko duga high level language cross lai kai no examples of high level language COBOL Fortran basic logo COBOL haidi kai no common business oriented language is mostly suitable for business oriented language where there is very little processing and a huge output COBOL haribasisu koi programming language high level programming language amani kai ko kari mai full form se kai ba common business oriented language ene khamnagani ko and Fortran formula translator Fortran habiti formula translator as a general purpose procedural imperative programming language that is especially suited in numeric computations and scientific computing. Fortran ngalingai matamda sinaramba high level language ngakhtani and basic beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code. It is a very simple language mazu yamna ngalingai mathai taina sigo COBOL Fortran puthoktinga matamda sinarambani then logo logical oriented graphic ko koina logo wise programming language da mo graphic oina ayekpa oina adumaina ki utkadaba pot ngata oibakini ko is a simpler procedural programming language designed for education. Then translator. High level language are designed taking into considerations the easy for a programmer. This language are not understood by the computer because it only understands zeros and ones. To make the computer understand a program, it is converted into machine level language. There are two kinds of translator, compiler and interpreters. High level language are called either compiled languages or interpreted languages. Translator habiti kuna high level language natragana any language or machine nerga kuna programming with a loinamak translate tawriba ngaktani machine jina machine language dana machine kaktang translate tawba ikoi bukhangan bangamba yaudaba anduga assembly dana ikoi dasu symbol oina kaba khangan ba machine dadi khangdaba adum bumna wana thokpa high level language tadi ekoi da fazna khanganba duga machine gi di moina translate tawjara pi gi ba adugumba por oibin ko madu da translator se makhal translator yaw suya yade yada banina translator makhal ani thoeba compiler haiba ma interpreter haiba ma translator makhal ani lai compiler sina kaino compiler translate the whole program completely in a single operations. A program written in high level language is converted directly into the mesh level language. This translations process is called compilations. Compiler ki translators na whole program da loinamak iba loiraba matungda code loi iba loiraba matungda pulap program mapum da pulap check tawni pulap translate tawni koina wa ma ngangba loiraba matungda ngangiba wa da pulap translate tawga ngangba gumbane ba sigi translators na tawje macit tawroiba koigi tawba ngangba yaba ngai loi nganghala matungda mana mu loina mu translate tawthokpa dugumba poni ko koina manipuri nganga english ta translate taw haitadi sentence khuding gi translate tawba nataba manipuri da loi ngang loira kanda mu english ta loina mu tawthokpiba adumaina pulap oina program code to hana loi ithokpi lo ni duga pulap amu compile tawgani ko sidasu picture da su yawrisini ko then interpreters na kaino an interpreter translates a program in a step-by-step process. Translations and executions occur immediately, one after another, one statement at a time. Unlike the compiled language, no object code is stored and there is no compilations. The most frequently used interpreted language is Basic. Compiled languages are better than the interpreted languages as they can be executed faster and more efficiently once the sub-object code has been obtained. On the other hand, interpreted languages do not need to create an object code and so are usually easier to develop and test. Interpreter habasina step by step translate tawgadaba amuktangda pulap tawi mutta line by line translate tawgadaba sentence ama ngang lorga sentence ama tawgadama tawgadaba ko then other than this assembler are used assembler ko a computer translate an assembly language program from mnemonic to the binary machine codes of the computer. It is used when we write a program in assembly languages and executed is performed. It converts the assembly level language into computer understandable level language, that is binary machine code. The working of an assembler is shown as the program is converted into an assembly program by the compiler and the assembly program is converted to a machine code by an assembler. Asigi assembler habasina assembly language sinagadaba program code tagi machine code ta translate tawbagi thabaktuna kanana assembler na tawi ko. Then fourth generation language. Lastly fourth generation language na kaino. Other than this language, there are fourth generation language which are combination of all this language with the following features: highly user friendly, every high speed of execution, reduced level of programming skills, minimum efforts for the user to obtain any informations. Fourth generation language sidana highly user friendly user sina badiyam nungai highly speed hangar hali adagi programming skill gi jang gi handa hamba dumaina effort khra watpa dugumba language makalamani. And fourth generation language, the user has to specify only the required output and the format of the output without bothering about the steps required to obtain that. Although many languages are called fourth generation language, they are actually a mix of third and fourth query language, and report writers are example of fourth generation language. Fourth generation language na mamang na puthokiba language mayam du combine tawga semakpa irakpa adugumba language makhal duni ko. Okay, for ngasi git so idlo shalasi ko.